A hearty good afternoon to all of you from me, Dr. Darren Green, coming to you from the Health Summit, which is the Mind Matters Summit here in Cape Town for 2025. And I'm absolutely enthralled to be in the Cipla Health Matters studio with their CEO for Africa. Thank you so much for joining me, Paul Miller. Wonderful to have you in the hot seat.
Thank you, Darren.
How does it feel to be in the hot seat?
Oh, listen, it's a lot cooler in this seat than it was 5 minutes ago upstairs.
Oh, no, fantastic. Well,
Yeah.
Thanks for agreeing to chat to us. And I think how appropriate it is to look at the topic of mental well-being and health and resilience, but specifically from your personal journey.
Yeah.
And I mean, I believe you're becoming a meteorologist, a weather expert.
I am, progressively.
Absolutely. And I mean, day by day, very excited about what Cipla is doing on the ground in
Yeah.
terms of monitoring your internal weather.
Yes.
You want to tell us a bit about that quickly?
Yeah. So I think let's start with ourselves, Darren. I think as men, we're pretty poor as expressing our emotions. And, it's very, very clear that we could do it a lot better. But I don't think we're going to change that. But maybe there's an opportunity for us to give men a vocabulary.
An easier plug-in.
Exactly. Maybe it's a way we can actually give words that don't define you and also don't put a label on you, but allow you to express how you're feeling.
Yes.
And I think what we've been thinking hard about is many people are comfortable to talk about the weather. And if you ask them about the weather, they're probably going to have a good conversation with you. But I think if we could get it normalized to ask people, how's the weather inside you?
Yes.
It may start to give people an opener in the conversation piece.
Just building that bridge.
Build the bridge. And you can start to use metaphors like it's sunny with a bit of rain.
Thunder showers
today.
I love that.
And it allows, like, oh, seriously? Are you not, is it a bit cloudy today? Yeah, it's a bit cloudy today. And it allows you to show a bit of empathy and a bit of a connect. And maybe if you feel comfortable, you can go a little bit further.
You can deepen it. Yeah. I love that.
But I think sometimes we, as males, we don't do it. And I think also just generally in work environment, I think this whole self-stigmatization is still so strong, right? Where many individuals do not feel comfortable to say, look, I suffer from anxiety. And
it's the norm for people to actually suffer. Most people actually do have some or other form of a crutch or an issue.
Yeah.
But we just, like you say, we think that we're not the norm.
Exactly. So we know in our workforces, a third of our workforce has been diagnosed with some mental condition.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's more common than we think. But maybe we just don't allow them to have an opportunity to express themselves. I think this is one way of destigmatizing that conversation.
Yes.
And allow them to express how they're feeling. So how's the weather inside me? How's the weather inside you?
And it keeps it a little bit there.
A little bit away, yeah. And I think the other thing is we should be checking in on ourselves every day. Maybe before we step out, we should say, okay, how's the weather inside me today?
Yeah.
Am I ready for this day? Because the way I show up is going to have such a long shadow in the organization. If they see me frustrated, if they see me anxious, it creates the same level of anxiety through the organization as well.
And it's a relatable concept, from a habitual neuroscience perspective. The thing that stands out for the concept you've described is that everyone, when they get dressed in the morning, what's the first thing they do? They look at the weather.
Yeah.
So they want to know, what must I dress? What must I put on? How do I prepare for the day?
Yeah.
And that's why it's a habit. It's one way of forming a mental health hack and a check-in without even realizing it, almost tricking your brain to do it automatically. So I think it's a brilliant concept.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see how people are going to engage with the platforms you've set up at the summit.
Look, I know SADAG has given a commitment to say that maybe as part of their check-in with the people dialing in, it may be a nice way to open the conversations on the call center to say, how's the weather inside you? It disarms the person maybe and just gets them to open up a bit quicker.
Makes me think of the movie Inside Out, with all the emotions that get visualized in the human brain. Sadness, gladness,
Yeah.
envy, etc., but making it tangible and
Yeah.
accessible. So that's amazing.
And the thing, Dan, is that maybe like the weather, our emotions come and go. And maybe we also get to a point where we start to understand and appreciate that, yes, it's cloudy today, but if there's enough wind around, by tomorrow it'll be sunny again.
It will move on.
It'll move on, and I'll have a fresh start to a new day with a different condition. I think the other thing is that it's also normalizing the fact that if it is wet and windy today, it's okay.
Yes.
It's okay to feel like that. We all have those days, and we don't have to be overly anxious about it or overly private about it. We can just say it's one of those days.
Absolutely. My wife always helps me with my kids. I've got two boys, aged 16 and 13. And one thing she helps with is to let them know that emotions are transient. In other words, you might feel frustrated, overwhelmed, even angry right now. And she actually says, I want you to remember this moment. But what she's so good at is 48 hours later, she'll ask them, and how are you feeling now?
Yeah.
Just to display the transient nature of the weather, of those emotions coming and going, which I absolutely love and agree with. So you are a guy that weathers all sorts of conditions with a real grit and a hunger for physical activity and sport.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've made that part of your lifestyle. Have you always been like that since school days, or how did that come about?
Look, I've always had a passion for sport.
Yeah.
The thing, though, you mentioned your boys. And when my sons came along, I invested all my spare time into them, standing on the sports line. And when I got close to turning 50, they had all moved on to university, they had built their own lives, and I was given this gift. And this gift was literally the mornings and the weekends.
Suddenly,
Yeah, and so I took that gift and I said to myself, I'm not going to waste it. I'm not going to waste it on social media. I'm not going to waste it on sitting around doing nothing. And I said to myself, there are a few things I want to achieve from an athletic point of view.
Yes.
One of those was a triathlon. I grew up with this idea that doing an Ironman event for me would be like the pinnacle.
Absolutely.
So I chased that down. And then I discovered I really enjoy cycling. So I started to look at big race events that I could participate in. Then I discovered this idea of trail running and stage trail runs.
Yes.
So it wasn't anything more than just fulfilling a dream that I've never had time for, and I was gifted with this time.
Yes.
And I decided it's cheaper than buying another sports car or taking up any other habit.
Exactly.
So that's been a wonderful journey for me.
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing that is quite spectacular is that, you know, children also model behavior. And if you model and prioritize health in yourself going forward in a bigger family sense, you know, it kind of becomes a family culture that exercise or physical activity or social connectedness is part of a normal day. And we all then set up our days to actually incorporate those things. Isn't that wonderful?
We should be told this when we're younger dads.
Yes, yes.
I know it's intuitively obvious, but I didn't realize my passion for sport and for health and training and discipline was going to be so easily transmitted. And I think if we know this when we're younger as fathers, we'll probably be a little bit more cautious with what we do and don't do.
You're right.
And where we put our attention. And it was just a vicarious thing. Both my sons are heavily involved in sports. My oldest son has just got back from Sweden. He participated in an Ironman event there.
Amazing.
My younger one just participated in the Africa gravel burn last weekend. So it's become part of their lives, and it's allowed me the privilege of staying connected to them, even though they've moved on, got partners, got married. I still have that strong connect over sport.
And what an incredible thing as well for the decanting of stress, frustration day to day, just to get headspace. And no better way to do it than being in nature, on a mountain, on a bike, going next to some river or stream. You know, I look at all that and look at the benefits are just endless in terms of modeling that. So I think that's a big plus. Now, how do you take that and apply to Cipla and your employees? I mean, in terms of their mental health, your learnings over the past few decades, how's that influenced the way you view taking the company forward?
I'd love to say that caring for life ethos was something I developed, but I can't. When I walked into the organization, I inherited a legacy where Cipla had done huge impact on the continent through HIV and providing life-saving medicines that were at affordable price.
Sure.
And that set up the ethos of caring for life in the company. So when I walked in, it's something which resonated with me.
Got you. You're aligned with it.
I'm aligned with it.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to work for an organization where they prioritize care. They prioritize the care of their people. They prioritize the care of the planet.
Yep.
They prioritize the care of the environment as well as the impact it has on the employees. So for me, it was very easy then to walk into that space, get on the back of that, and really just blow it up and make it something which people can live and experience.
No, that's very inspirational. I mean, and in view of this summit, looking at mind matters particularly, how can Cipla contribute to the platform and the stage of prioritizing mental well-being going forward?
We spoke this morning in the symposium where we said that, the landscape in which leaders operate is a lot more complex and more challenging than it is in Europe or America. Our levels of mental disease are sometimes double and sometimes 5 times
As high.
And therefore, how we as an organization show up, particularly as Cipla, because we treat more patients living with mental disease than any other company. And therefore the responsibility is upon us to try and shift the needle and make sure that people living with these mental conditions are supported.
Yes.
I think one of the big things we can do is to move the needle in terms of acceptance.
Okay.
And that it's actually completely okay to not be in a good space.
Yes. To not be okay.
To not be okay.
Yes.
And we've played a critical role in trying to drive that destigmatization. I think the other thing we can do as well is give people a language that allows them to express how they're feeling. And I think this concept of how's the weather inside of you, I'm hoping it will get legs. I'm hoping that other corporates will adopt it. And I'm hoping that we can get a language going and a conversation going where it becomes just part of our daily connect and our daily check-in to say how you're doing, instead of getting I'm okay, rather get a response that says I'm a little bit cloudy today. And I think this journey that we're on, I think is an inspiring one, because the young people of today are very prepared to put their hands up and say, I'm not happy with this, or I'm not comfortable with this, or I'm not okay. And I think that behavior needs to be modeled more in the organization. But also equally, I think we as an organization need to learn how to have those conversations, because I think as a leadership team, we find that as a criticism of our organization, criticism of our leadership, as opposed to saying, please explain to me what you're feeling and experiencing so we can better adjust ourselves to work more and to make this place a better place for everyone.
Well, I'm feeling inspired. I'm feeling excited because I've watched the journey of biopsychosocial well-being in its complete holistic form. Enjoy different amounts of input and attention over many years, and never before post-COVID have we seen such an incredible surge of awareness around mental health. So I think that you've got your work cut out for you, but you've also been part of an amazing team, and I'm really, really excited to watch that journey as we go forward. Darren. And I wish you a fantastic rest of your Mind Matters Summit. And good luck with checking the weather with the rest of your beautiful company. And we look forward to meeting soon.
Thank you, Darren. Appreciate the time.